starting in November, Bitcoin didn't really react to that bad news anymore. And now, since early that year, Bitcoin is basically back, and it looks like we've seen the lows. It looks like we are in a new cycle, at least a nice bounce or a recovery. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin recovering to 35,000, maybe even 50,000. If it does the same like in 2019, after the bear cycle that started in December 2017, which took Bitcoin down from 20,000 to $3,200, also a devastating bear market. But then Bitcoin quickly recovered. Starting in March 2019, it went up 350% in 3 months. So we could see something similar.
In the financial markets since 1995, Florian Grums has worked as a consultant, trader, and independent analyst. In 2002, he became positive on gold and silver and started concentrating on this underserved sector due to his unique perspective and contrarian thinking. He worked on his technical analytical skills for years. In the early months of 2013, the Cyprus crisis brought Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to the public's attention. He began disseminating his findings on the gold market to his acquaintances in 2008, according to his study. He instantly felt inspired by his readers to make his research publicly available. He consequently attracted widespread notice and a sizable international fan base thanks to his stellar track record and impartial mindset. In this video, Grum talks about the precious metal gold, his projections for it, and what he expects to happen to its trend going ahead now that China and Russia have abandoned the dollar. Also, he discusses the enormous cryptocurrency Bitcoin and its applications.
Gold is looking good again after those 3 months of strong rally. And as you know, in the big picture, all it takes for gold is really to take out this all-time high around $2,075. And then, yeah, we would complete a very large basing pattern, basically, that started in 2011. And you can just imagine how much energy has been compressed over the years. So I think, yeah, $5,000 to $10,000 gold is very possible. And given the macro outlook, the big picture, I think there's every day more reasons to be long-term bullish on gold. One of the main drivers for sure is the de-dollarization that is going on. So China and Russia are moving away from the dollar. The so-called petrodollar, which was backed by oil being factored in US dollar, that is step-by-step changing. You see India, for example, making payments in rubles nowadays. Chinese trying to establish the renminbi oil trade. The Saudis have basically partnered with China. And that has been a huge, I think the most important driver for the dollar still being the most important reserve currency on the planet. And I think that is going to change. And we are already in that change. This is a long-term process. It's not happening from one day to another. That takes years, or probably 1 or 2 decades even. But I think that is one of the main drivers. And at the same time, 50 years into the paper money system, after Nixon ended the gold standard, we all know the debts are incredibly high and unsustainable. Now we're seeing since a few years massive inflation everywhere. And I think this whole paper dollar system, is going to fail at some point. It's not happening overnight. It's a process. But I think these are the main drivers. And I don't think that the world will directly switch to renminbi or yuan.
Yes.
Because the Saudis don't trust the Chinese either, or the Russians, but they want to certainly do the trade overall in gold. In retrospective, it's very obvious that we had this massive bull run that started basically with the low of the Corona crash in February 2020, and from there Bitcoin basically went from $3,800 up to $69,000 over the course of a little bit more than 2 years. And at 69,000 in November 2021, everybody was obviously bullish. I didn't really see the top exactly there. I turned bearish a little bit later, but still saw the change in the environment. And it's, in the end of the day, it's always the same cycles in that sector. You have crazy bull runs, and then you have devastating bear markets. And that bear market lasted from November 2021 up to November 2022. And Bitcoin went down from 69,000 to 15,000 something, 75% pullback. And in November, everybody was so bearish. The news, especially the scam and the problems around all these lending platforms and the FTX disaster, that all basically pushed the sector further down. But starting in November, Bitcoin didn't really react to that bad news anymore. And now, since early that year, Bitcoin is basically back, and it looks like we've seen the lows. It looks like we are in a new cycle, at least a nice bounce or a recovery. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin recovering to 35,000, maybe even 50,000. If it does the same like in 2019, after the bear cycle that started in December 2017, which took Bitcoin down from 20,000 to $3,200, also a devastating bear market. But then Bitcoin quickly recovered. Starting in March 2019, it went up 350% in 3 months. So we could see something similar over the next few weeks and months, Bitcoin recovering towards 35,000, 50,000. And we would still be clearly below the all-time high. And after that, I would expect a pullback again and probably back towards the 25, 20,000 kind of range, together with the stock markets. Because again, what I said earlier, I assume that somewhere in the summer, we're going to see really the consequences out of the hiking cycle. And we're probably going to be back in the bear market in stocks. And that will also create challenges for the crypto sector. Yeah, last year I was basically bullish on the dollar, and I think this year it's time again to be bullish on gold. I think that gold, it doesn't take much now to take out the all-time high around 2075. We might see this now in the coming few weeks or in the next 1-2 months. Usually gold has the tendency to top out in spring and then correct, let's say between March and June, July. It's usually not a time where gold and gold-related investments perform well, but gold then usually finds an important low somewhere in early midsummer, and third and fourth quarter are usually strong. So if you put this together with the technical setup, gold needs to break out above $2,050, $2,075. If it managed to do that later in the year, like really sustainably, I think we could go to $2,500 by the end of the year.
Okay.
And that's a nice return from where we are right now. Bitcoin might also see a nice recovery over the next few weeks and months, but I assume later, saying midsummer, maybe August, September, and then third, fourth quarter, we probably will see some weakness again. So that's why I'm going for gold.
Gold continues to be the most reliable store of value available, regardless of its nominal price, according to Grooms, even in a raging global economy. What do you think about Grum's projections for Bitcoin and gold? In the comment space below, please share your thoughts. Please remember to like, subscribe, and enable your notifications for new videos in addition to my channel.